So I think we're live. I think we are live. All right, let me do a little fluctuating here. I'll be able to see the chat, so give me a second. Here we go. Okay, you might want to refresh, Bella. There we go. All right, I'm live and ready to roll. So let's get some people. Let's get some peeps in here. Here we go. Let's get some peeps up in here. I'm sitting on my bed. I'm seeing the light. The light's pretty good, looks like. I think we're good. I think we're getting ready to roll. Very exciting. All right, so I'll do this like I normally do and take it out of my... All right, so I have been doing some research on I've been doing some research on the hashtag Unrigged movement, and it, I was like, that sounds pretty good. That actually sounds like something I want, because what it's about is decorrupting our politics, basically. So, and that's a good thing, the whole draining the swamp, decorrupting politics, making it so lobbyists cannot, hey Shoni, making it so that lobbyists cannot take or give money to campaigns for political campaigns. So it seemed like a good thing on paper. It really did. And I was like kind of excited. I was trying to show you all my Mountain Dew kitty shirt, hence the green makeup. Okay, so now back to seriousness. But yeah, so I started looking into this hashtag Unrigged thing, and it's kind of crazy because the more I got to looking into it, the more it started looking like Seth Rich 2.0 with the whole, it's got Jason Goodman, Trish, George Webb, DeFango, Robert David Steele, and now Cynthia McKinney. Hello, 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 hello. So all these people that were in with this whole crazy Seth Rich thing, with the files and who spoofed the files and all that stuff, these are the same players for this hashtag Unrigged thing. So it looks like a lot of the same. Cynthia McKinney recently just said on DeFango's chat, or a thing he did with her, that she took money from the Muslim Brotherhood. So that kind of tells you where that goes. Plus, I've done some more digging around, and it looks like there's some Rockefellers involved with some money and some Oppenheimers. And Yeah, so I mean, before anybody like jumps on board with this, because it does look great on paper. I mean, it looks great on paper. You know, they're going to make it so that you can't do, so that the politicians can't take money from lobbyists, which I agree with. I completely agree with. Um, and they're going to make, they want to make it so that it's less corrupt and more, I don't know, transparent. Um, but at the same time, you've got the same players that have been corrupt. And I mean, between the Jason Goodmans and DeFango and Webb and Trish and all that, they dox the rabbit straight out. They're into doxing people. I kind of flip flopped about whether I wanted to even do this video because, they do some crazy stuff. And, I've got my family and everything, and I'm hoping that this is light enough that it won't get me in any trouble. But that hashtag Unrig, it's not good. It's dirty. Once you get Rockefellers, Oppenheimers, and Muslim Brotherhood money going into it, it's dirty. That's my take on it. Maybe I'm completely wrong, and maybe the research that I did and found, which I will be putting in the comments below, all the links to things that I found. But I don't know. The whole thing's not cool, and it doesn't feel copacetic to me at all. Well, Jason's face is funny in general. You're right, Bella. But yeah, the whole thing just felt really dirty. I don't know how much any of you know about it. Does anybody know anything about the hashtag Unrig? Have you heard anything about it? They're supposed to be going around with a tour bus that is to educate people. And they're coming up with these power cells. Yeah, I think it's all a show. And, Robert David Steele is involved, and he's supposedly ex-CIA. But, there's no such thing as ex-CIA. You only become inactive. And it's kind of funny because I just got done watching the show Quantico, seasons 1 and 2. And a lot of their plot was the CIA infiltrating a movement to decorrupt the government, and how that got twisted and turned, and voila, hashtag Unrigged. Yeah, you don't want to be educated by them because what they're saying sounds so good. It's snake oil. Is what I'm getting at. It's snake oil. And it's following along the lines of the Quantico show. I guess Goodman and Webb kind of split up because Webb wanted to do some kind of recreation and Goodman said it wasn't. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, they promote and protect corruption and move that forward, and that's what's happening. And now you've got these YouTubers that were truthers. You've got Jason Sather involved with it. He's done interviews with Robert David Steele and everything. He does Destroying the Illusion, which his channel does a lot about the secret space program and stuff like that. But he was a truther. Or I guess is a truther, but he's hitched his wagon to this hashtag Unrigged. And there's also, I think it's next month, that they're doing an Unrigged convention in Alabama with, what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence and a whole bunch of people from Hollywood, and one of the people on that is one of the people that is on I have a screenshot of it, but one of the people that's on that is from I think it's the Thoreau Foundation, which has ties to Oppenheimer. And I may have gotten that name wrong, but I will put all the information down in the comments so that you guys can check it out too. But I guess basically my whole point in all of this is, yeah, it's a community of disinfo. They're putting it out there as something wonderful and good. And there's a little bit of truth in there, but the rest is crazy. And they haven't even written this legislation that they're trying to get passed around Congress. It's not even written yet. They're want to go around the country. They want $250,000 is what they're trying to raise on Indiegogo with their tour bus. And Cynthia McKinney has been in, I believe, Bangladesh for the past while because she can't find work in the United States after her congressional thing and what all is going on. But like I said, she straight up said during DeFango's video the other day, he asked her and she straight up said, yeah, I took money from the Muslim Brotherhood. That's not the direction we're trying to go. We want to go in. I mean, that's not, I don't know. It's just not okay. Does anybody that's hanging out have any questions or thoughts or ideas or insights about what's going on? There's not a lot of people. It doesn't look like there's a lot of people watching right now, but maybe maybe more will come in a little bit. But I just wanted to do this do it this way because it just seemed like something that needed to be put out there, and hopefully, oh, thanks, Shoni. It just sounded like something that people needed to be aware of. I hadn't heard of the hashtag Unrigged. I just happened to catch the end of one of DeFango's interviews with Cynthia McKinney, and that's where it came up. And I'm like, oh, what is this? It sounds kind of interesting. So I started looking into it, and it's snake oil. And I'm afraid it's going to get big because it's what a lot of people want. I hope people are, because DeFango went out of the light for a little bit and now he's back in. And most of the people that I'm seeing that I saw in his chat room, there was like one or two holdovers from when I was watching. But Robert David Steele. Yeah, he's been on InfoWars. He's been on a bunch of stuff. But there's mostly new people on DeFango stuff. It's not the same group that was there earlier, because I think he was treating his subs so crappy for a while. And he and I kind of had it out a little bit, and then we pseudo made up, I guess, whatever, just to move forward on Doughboy's chat one night. But it's so negative energy and so low energy, and I don't like it, so I try not to associate with it. And I don't watch his stuff very much, but I happen to see him with Cynthia McKinney, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on and how is he getting these interviews. But I have thought that for a while that he's being handled, maybe. I mean, I could be totally and completely wrong, but it just seems like a crazy switch flipped. I don't know. I'm just me, myself, and I. So, yeah, the words are all great, but the feel is bad. It feels dirty. Yeah, just if you look it up and you start looking into it, you're going to be like, that sounds really good. But then you start looking into the back behind it, and it's not good. DeFangos tried to contact Trump. Oh, I hope Trump wouldn't talk to him. That'd be funny. I don't know how H.A. Goodman has 85,000 subs. I really think that they're all like in this cahoots thing, and it's some kind of government run. Because like I said, RDS now has his hands on it. And with him being ex-CIA, like I said, you don't leave the CIA. You just become inactive. And I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, I probably am crazy, but I watched Quantico and then this stuff came up. And it was like I said, like the same kind of plot line of the CIA infiltrating a movement that was trying to uncorrupt the government. And it was, same type of plot line. And it didn't go well on the show, so I'm thinking this probably isn't going to go well. But it's only going to affect the people that know about it. But they're trying to take their Hey, Corey, what's up? Glad to see you. Long time no speak. Yeah. So they're based out of Virginia, I guess, and they've got this bus with Cynthia McKinney's face on the side of it and Robert David Steele's face on the side of it, and they're meeting up with these people to create these power cells in each district so they can activate the power cells. So, yeah, activating power cells sounds creepy. It sounds like they're trying to get it just sounds like something government run to me. It really does. It sounds dirty and governmental. So I really felt I had to say something about this before somebody starts hearing about it and puts money towards it. And there's actually people that have requested refunds and gotten refunds from this hashtag Unrigged. So I first heard about this hashtag Unrigged because I happened to catch the end of one of DeFango's video with Cynthia McKinney. And I was like, I saw it. It came up in my suggested videos, and I wasn't really doing anything. And I'm like, oh, Cynthia McKinney, let's see what she has to say. And so I wanted to see what was going on. And then from there, I was like, holy crap. So I start looking into it. And then Jason Sather, who is also someone that I followed a while back, he is in on it too. I quit following him as well because it felt dirty. It just felt dirty. More about the power cells. Okay, from what I understand, these power cells it's a group of like-minded people that they are putting together to rewrite legislation and campaign. So they are trying to get these people together and have them do research into the local and state legislation so that they can try to keep lobbyists from funding politicians, which is a good thing. I am down for not having lobbyists fund politicians. I am totally down for that. But there's something off about this. But the power cell is the group of people in that district that are doing the research and I hope that it kind of answered the question. But that, yeah, the people that are doing the research in their district and that will be activated to campaign once this goes big. So, does anybody else have any questions that I can maybe help answer for you? Though on paper, this hashtag Unrig sounds really good. It sounds like a very positive, good, meaningful thing. But when you start looking at the funding for it, who's behind it and who's getting behind it, that's when it starts to feel dirty. It is another crowdsource thing. They're crowdsourcing the campaign, basically. And they have this hashtag Unrig, this Unrigged event coming up in Alabama, and I believe it's next month. Like I said, I'll put a link down below for it. But it's got like celebrities, and then you've got people from the Rockefeller funds, people with ties to the Oppenheimers, and we all know what that is. And that's more of the same. So I think what they're doing is putting this really pretty icing on this really dirty cake. Yes, Unrig is the Robert David Steele project. And it's, like I said, it sounds good on paper, but it's dirty. It's just dirty. It's got dirty all over it. And you guys can do your research, and hopefully this video will stay under the radar enough that they won't try to attack me, because they like to do that kind of thing. But, you know, I felt the need to put it out there because I have a feeling it is going to go big, because once you're going to start getting the money, they're doing on Indiegogo. Hey, Freddie Beans. I think Robert David Steele is still CIA. You just don't ever get out of that. You don't. They build you in the CIA. And like I said, I watch Quantico, which is about the FBI, but then they go into the CIA, which is kind of like and it gives you a little bit of insight into how they make their spies and their operatives. Hey, Cac. How's it going, bud? But it gives you a little bit of how they create their spies, and basically they break them down. They break you down completely mentally, and then they put in these little things that make you able to do your job as a spy. Yeah, see, he was working, he did a little bit with Crowdsourced Truth, and then they kind of dropped him, and then it's just been this big soap opera. But now Crowdsourced Truth is just Jason and Trish and this new chick, Queen Tut, and they're talking about the evils of Robert David Steele and this hashtag Unrig. So it's, I don't know. I don't like being on the same side as Jason Goodman because he's kind of weird, but on this, maybe he's right. And Keck, I'm really sorry that that happened, but you've got a wrench in here, buddy. And I love you, and don't worry about it. He's been, Dinky has also been kind of going kind of odd lately. So yeah, Jason Goodman and George Webb split because I guess George Webb wanted to do a recreation or something, and Jason Goodman's like, we don't have money for that or whatever. I don't know. I quit following it a long time ago and only got back into it once I realized that it's the same players as this whole Seth Rich thing. Basically, it seems like, to me, that the Seth Rich thing kind of died down. So now they need something else, and they're doing this hashtag unrigged. So yeah, if you Google hashtag unrig, that's where you'll find the stuff about what they're doing. It also goes into Robert David Steele's Earth something something that he does. And no, I don't think it's taking off quite as fast as he expected. And I think that that's why they're putting it in together with the celebrity thing, which is coming up next month. And it's an unrigged event. And I'm not 100% sure that the two are actually connected, but they have the same name. So I'm assuming they're on the same lines there. And I do have links for it. And I'll put those up in the comments. But yeah, the whole thing is just really shady. And I kind of wanted to get it out in front of it so that people aren't putting their money towards something that sounds really good but is awful. No, I didn't hear about Roger Moorcock. What's up? So, does anybody else have any other questions or anything that I can help? Anything at all? I mean, it doesn't even have to be on the topic. Roy Moore. No, I don't know. I don't know about Roy Moore either. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. Even if it's not necessarily about this, but I was going to do an actual video about it, and I'm like, I don't know how deep into this I want to delve, because they like to dox people and stuff. And not that doxing me is all that exciting, because there's not a lot to know. I mean, pretty much I put myself out there, but here's something else I did kind of want to talk about, though, is the NFL taking a knee thing. I'm curious what you all think about that. My stance on that is that, and it comes from knowing several people military, there are a few that feel that it is rude, but most of the ones that I know feel like that's what they served for, was for the right to peacefully protest like that, for the ability to do that, whether you agree with it or not. How long will my hair be blue? Well, actually, I have blue and turquoise that's going in it tomorrow. Mason and his friend is coming to visit Alex, and they're going to dye my hair, and we're going to watch drag queens, because I have the best son ever. My birthday is in November, and November 4th, we're going to Upstate Pride. And then after that, we're going to a drag show and a meet and greet for some of the people that have been on RuPaul's Drag Race. So I'm like super excited because I have the best son ever. So yeah. So yeah, that answers your question there, Bella, on my hairs. I agree, Corey. I don't think they should tell people how to feel, but I believe that when you have that kind of platform, and you have something to say, you should. You have that right. And that's what America is founded on, is the right to say something, the right to be able to express your voice. And yeah, they they can run and they can create chaos and run and hide in their little gated communities. But he wasn't inside the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick. I don't necessarily agree with what he was doing. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I agree. I agree with taking a knee during the national anthem. I'm not saying I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, I agree he has the right to do it. And I will fight for that right, because that is what makes us, that's part of what makes the United States, is your free right to freedom of speech. And with Trump calling all of them sons of bitches, that really kind of bothered me a little bit, because you are now insulting these players and their mothers because they're using their First Amendment right. And that's not, to me, that's not okay. So that kind of that bothered me a little. It did. And everybody has their right to their feelings on it. Bella and I have talked about it some, and we disagree, but we respectfully disagree, and that's fine. I don't think anybody needs to agree with me necessarily. They weren't dissing the American flag, though. That's the thing. That wasn't their point. Their point was, you can argue. My point isn't that I agree with it. My point is that they have the right to do it. Whether it's the right venue, whether it's the right thing to do, that is really not what I'm arguing at all. What I'm arguing is they have the right to do it because we have free speech. And if you don't stand up for everybody's free speech, then you stand up for no one's free speech. Same thing with like the KKK. I don't agree with what they say, but they have a right to say it. I don't agree with Black Lives Matter. I do agree that Black Lives Matter, but I don't agree with their violence in that, with their overall message. But it is their right. They have a right to put their message out there as long as it's non-violent and you're not inciting violence. And they weren't. They're taking a knee. They're taking a seat. It's not... Oh, it's totally manufactured, I'm sure, and it's to create divisiveness. It's to divide us. And when you use your freedom of speech, you are not free from the repercussions of what you have to say. You're taking the knee during the national anthem. Yeah, it is disrespectful. You have the right to do it, but it's disrespectful. So people, as Shoni said, can tell you you're being a dick, and that's fine. But my problem is with trying to take away that right. You can't take away that right. You can disagree with what they're doing. But you can't tell them not to do it because that is their First Amendment right. That's what that is the basis of what I'm saying. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying I agree with what they're doing at all. I've got family that died in the military. I've got family that served in the military and all that stuff. But, you can't shush people. You're right, Shoni. Exactly. You can't shush people. You let people have their voice. Is it in the NFL, during the national anthem of the NFL, is that the appropriate time to do it? Yeah, maybe not. But at the same time, they're within their rights to do it. So you can feel about it however you like, and that's your right, and you can tell them how you feel, and that's your First Amendment right to be able to do that. But they are also able to do that. So that's really my point on it. I don't necessarily think that I think that the ones that came out and locked arms were probably the most respectful, because they were still standing for the anthem, but they were locking arms in unity. So, and it's a very divisive issue. And I believe that this was coordinated to divide us as a nation because that's what they want. Divide and conquer. We are easier to manipulate if you have us divided and fighting amongst ourselves. And they've got to find something for us to fight about. If race isn't going to do it, then they're going to have to do this. Apparently, white people aren't fighting black people enough. So they've got to get the white people fighting each other and the black people fighting each other because we're all not fighting each other enough. And I agree with what you said, Bella, that, they do have a rule for, they do have the right to rule for code of conduct, but a lot of the owners went out and took a knee or locked arms in solidarity. But I also believe that because it is in the NFL that you have to stand for it is in the NFL guidebook that the players get for the national anthem, or you could be fined. So they are possibly good. There is a possibility that they would be fined. And that's something that they have to accept, but I still don't think that their right to do it should be taken away. If they choose to do that, they have to face the penalties. I am, it's just like saying, you can have a gun, but you can never shoot it. That's your Second Amendment. You can have a gun, but you're never allowed to shoot it. Same type of thing. I'm curious about whether Kaepernick came up with that on his own or if someone kind of talked him into that or how that came about. But for it to grow and come crazy like it has he's without a job right now. Kaepernick is not a working football player because of this. So, he's taken his belts. That could be true, Bella. He may have had a girlfriend agent get him to do it. But I believe this is all part of this big chess game that's going on. Part of this major thoroughfare we're all watching in front of our eyes right now. This hashtag Unrig, this NFL thing, all of it is part of what is going on to divide us, what is making us question each other and make each other, I don't know. It's just sad. It breaks my heart that our country is falling apart and they're dismantling us from the inside. Keck, I get what you're saying, but I still watch football. Sorry. I will continue to watch football because even though I don't agree with them taking a knee for the anthem, I agree with the right to do it, and I will continue to watch it. I know you didn't say that. That's okay. I just was putting my 2 cents out there. Does anybody else have any other questions or anything else they'd like to talk about? I feel like we've kind of beat this dead horse, and as a people, when you connect with another person, you are able to find all the things you have in common when you do it one-on-one. When you connect with people one-on-one, you realize all the things you have the same. But like Bella said, they put up this magnifying glass on our differences, and that's what they broadcast. And that is that is what they're doing to divide us. It's heartbreaking to me. It really is. And I made myself bleed. I hurt my finger because I did. But yeah, it saddens me. I I it breaks my heart. It's my form of self-harm. I freaking pull my nails off. Yeah. I'll get a Band-Aid on that in a minute. My son is doing amazing. He just got a promotion to assistant general manager. He'll get his store in a couple weeks, and he is doing amazing. And I think I had said earlier, but I don't know if everybody heard it. For my birthday, we're going to Upstate Pride. And then we're going to a drag show, and then we're going to do a meet and greet with some of the queens that have been on RuPaul's Drag Race, which is going to be a freaking awesome day. So I am super duper excited about that because he's awesome. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to try to get some good pictures and stuff. So it's going to be super exciting. Yeah. So excited. And he is so good. And he is. Oh, good news about my daughter. She got her, my daughter finally got her disability. Finally. We have been fighting for that forever, and we finally got it. I'm just thankful we got it. So we were able to go out. We went out to a big family lunch and got some craft stuff because she wants to make a dollhouse. So we got our craft stuff for that. So that was really cool. So we're kind of in an upswing right now. My dad told me when I was little that life is like a pendulum. You've got your good side and you've got your bad side, and it swings back and forth between the two. So it never stays good for too long and it never stays bad for too long, but you spend most of your time in the middle. So I have to agree with that. I feel that that's pretty good. My daughter's been doing great on her meds. We've found some stuff that's working wonderful for her. It's lessened her anxiety, decreased her depression. Everything's been going really well with that, really well. So thank you so much for everybody who has been holding good thoughts for us and been concerned and all that. So I really appreciate all of you guys. I really do. I appreciate all of you guys watching because this is so much fun to me. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy getting to interact with you all. Does anybody have any other questions before I shut her down? Because I don't know what else to talk about. So, any other questions? Anybody? Give you a few minutes. And then I can do a live stream at least once every couple of days a week. I can do a live stream maybe once a week or so. Okay, the cooking videos I was so excited for, and I tried to tape them, but it did not work out very well. It did not work out very well at all. My kitchen is not suitable for taping, so I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to make that happen. So it's still a work in progress. It may not happen for a couple months until we move. Um, so, but you know, stay on me about it, Shoni and Bella, and you guys stay on me about it because I really do want to do it. It's just a matter of trying to get things to where I can actually film because my kitchen is not conducive to filming. It is so small. We're going to be moving out of this apartment in a couple months. I don't know, like 3-4 months, something like that. Wait, what month is this? This is September, so October, November, December, January, February, March, like 6 months. We're going to be moving out of this apartment, and I am going to be hopefully somewhere much better. So we're going to stay in the same area, general area, but kind of out of the ghetto because I live in the ghetto. The apartments I live in, we've been through 4 owners, 3 shootings that I know of. There's been more in the back, I'm sure. And it's bad. So yeah, it's not good. Not good. So we just want to get into a little bit better area and hopefully into a house instead of an apartment. I do have Steam It where I think I'm going to try to food blog until then, and I think I'm going to try to use Steam It as my my platform for that, but I'm still kind of getting things going, so I will keep you all updated on that. It's a lot to do, and I am bipolar untreated, so I go through my highs and lows, and when I go through my highs, I get a lot of stuff done, and then I go through my lows, and I don't want to do anything. So I have to like kick myself in the butt and make myself get stuff done during those times. So I'm kind of hoping that having the blog or the videos and stuff is, hi, Iron J-Rod. Nice to see you. Thanks for checking in. You missed a little bit what we were talking about the hashtag Unrig. And that, I'll do a quick recap on that if you'd like. Just a really quick recap on the hashtag Unrigged. It's run by Robert David Steele and Cynthia McKinney. They are talking about decorrupting politics and making it so lobbyists cannot fund politicians, which all sounds good on paper, but it's being backed by, hi, Salted Cedar. Thank you for joining. If you're new here and you'd like to, I'd love for you to subscribe. I try to put out informational videos, vlogs, live stream, whatever I can do. Just kind of whatever's going on. I try to stick with stuff that's truther involved. So I'm really excited to see these new faces or new names up here. That's awesome. You all are my tadpoles now. So yeah. It's very exciting for me. I love doing this. I have so much fun. I have so much fun doing this. It's a great way for me to be able to interact. I wish the lag wasn't quite so bad. But, yes, except you, Keck. You are God Emperor Keck. The rest of you are my tadpoles. Yeah, the lag from from the YouTube to what I'm doing is like it's a couple seconds. So it's, not from Frog. Oh, I'm glad y'all are here. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about? Should we do a yes? Showing my tadpole. If there's anything y'all want to talk about, should we do a quick recap? Iron tadpole. I like it. I like it a lot. How do I think Trump is doing? I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into Trump. Yeah, I'm not going to get into how I think Trump's doing. We're going to let that lie. We do need an emoji for our tadpoles. We do. Would you all like a recap? Or any other questions? I mean, we got the froggy. We can use the froggy emoji, I suppose. Did I enjoy Nathan's show today? I missed Nathan's show. I was out shopping during Nathan's show. So I have to go back and watch it. I feel bad, but yeah, I was out grocery shopping. I had limited. We only have 2 cars, so I have to, and the boys work, so I have to yeah. Keck, be nice. All right. Keck's gonna screw if he wants to, I guess. All right, so oh, that's cool. Okay, so you got to see most of it. Good. Iron tadpole. I like it. So if anybody has any questions, you can put those up there. If not, I guess I'm gonna shut her down. Because I'm trying to think. I don't really think I have anything else going on. My son's friend is visiting this weekend. We may live stream us making some tamales. We may live stream us making some tamales if I can talk them into it. So I think that's about it, guys. I try to keep these under an hour so that if you want to watch it, it's, doable. Oh, thanks, Keck. So yeah, I'm gonna see if we can live stream the tamales because it's a lot of fun to make them. I try to make not all of them political, but with things going on. But this hashtag Unrig thing was really something I wanted to get out there. I was debated back and forth for a long time whether I was going to do it or not, but in the end, I decided I needed to, because I don't want anybody to put out their money without doing some research on it first and realizing where it's coming from. So, all right. So it looks like the consensus is we need to live stream the tamales. Alex said she was down for it. So we'll just have to talk Mason into it. He may just be off camera, but we'll work it out. Thank you so much. Anybody who's new, if you'd like to, I'd love for you to subscribe. We do all kinds of crazy and interesting things, I think. And hit that like button if you haven't done it. And I will catch you all on the flip. It has been a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll catch y'all on the flip.